You shot straight, but you shot late. Hi, let me. This is the Rundown Podcast.
I'm gonna give you the rundown.
Is what happened to Foolio yesterday. We're not going to allow you to just arbitrarily run around and spray bullets into people's houses and cars.
The sheriff in Jacksonville issuing a warning to those looking to retaliate following the fatal shooting of an up-and-coming rapper. Good evening, everyone. I'm Josh Benson.
I'm Jennifer Lee. Thank you for joining us. Officials here are also on high alert as they search for the gunman who opened fire on the singer and others inside a parking lot of a Tampa motel. Charles Jones, whose stage name is Julio Foolio, was gunned down over the weekend at the Holiday Inn off McKinley Drive. News Channel 8's Georgia MacArthur is live at the scene with the very latest for us. Georgia.
Jen and Josh, officials are worried the news of this rapper's death will not be taken lightly in the streets. Jacksonville police fear that rival groups could retaliate. Take a look here at the neighboring hotel. The aftermath of the shooting is still here. A window is boarded up and 2 bullet holes pierced through the wall and pole here at this hotel. Jacksonville Sheriff T.K. Waters is expressing concerns after an up-and-coming rapper was shot while visiting Tampa.
These groups, I won't name them, they know who they are. We're not going to tolerate any retribution, any revenge.
This is Julio Foolio, an up-and-coming Jacksonville rapper who was visiting Tampa, Florida to celebrate his 26th birthday, but it was cut short by gunfire. A black car riddled with at least a dozen bullet holes surrounded by crime scene tape. A hotel worker who did not want to be identified on camera describes the chaos.
The man was bum-rushed, shot at. Bullet holes ricocheted off of the building and off of our pillars, busted one of our windows.
It happened just before 5 a.m. on Sunday morning at the Holiday Inn. Jones died at the scene. 3 others were injured. Jones's longtime attorney, Louis Fusco, says the rapper was ambushed after relocating to the hotel after being kicked out his Airbnb.
They all jumped out the car except for one man, and 3 were being pursued. 1 ran into the other hotel branch, bleeding out, and while the other 2 continued to run off.
Prior to the shooting, the rapper invited fans on social media to celebrate at a pool party. Comments from fans on the rapper's social media page a week ago say, quote, "Don't die, Foolio," and quote, "It's going to get shot up." Fans warning the rapper not to make an appearance in the city because it could lead to violence.
I've never seen so much devaluing of human life. You know, it's like it's fun, and they talk about it in rap videos.
And again, police are still searching for the parties involved in this case. Given that it is a high-profile person, police are heavily relying on tips from other people to help solve this case. Reporting live in Tampa, Georgia MacArthur.
Say, hey man, it's OG Jucario. Now I'm back at you with another one. And I had to come back and spin the YouTube block because I just got the drop on a video that I came across with a witness giving more detailed information on what happened at the crime scene of the Julio Foolio shooting. And in this footage, you can hear the witness saying that when he was seeing everything go down, he seen, Julio friends get up out the car and run to different directions. And one man never got out the car, assuming that had to be Julio Foolio because he died at the scene. Now, upon research, an article states that Julio Foolio friend told his mother that Julio and the friends who were in the car, right, and the person who was also shot were taken to the hospital, okay? Now, if Julio was DOA, if he was dead on the scene, dead on arrival, why would they say that they took him to the hospital as well, along with the others who were injured? Because that doesn't make sense if he was DOA and actually died at the scene, right? But you have a friend of Foolio's, they never specified which actual friend told his mother that, okay? But the witness is saying that, hey, yeah, he did witness all this go down. So this is more clarity to as to which, people are saying, yeah, they did run up in the hotel during the shooting, and, they were trying to get, somewhere to get cover while everything was going on after being shot. And this would definitely make sense in what the friend O'Murder was saying off in the snippet in the song that he released, saying that he was bleeding out on that floor, right, in that hotel, and telling the other homeboy, hey man, don't let me die, right? And obviously, like I said and stated in the video before, the homeboy who was with old Murder while they went in the hotel, he couldn't have been shot either, because, you know, why would he be telling him don't let me die if the other friend was also shot and bleeding out as well? And I got to thinking, well, you know, the picture that's circulating online with Foolio slumped over, coming from that front seat, trying to head to the back, you know, shield himself, or, you know, like was said, try to shield Lil Gino, his cousin, from those bullets as well, right? So how is he slumped over, you know, headed to the back seat, and his body, you know, is being taken photos of, if he was taken to the hospital with the other victims? See, that right there isn't adding up, you guys. How could Foolio's body still be in that car, right, and it's daytime, right? You see the sunlight out in the back of the pit, right? It's not nighttime anymore. It's not 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning when this incident took place at 4:35 to, you know, the 4:40 a.m. hour, okay? So how is that possible? How is his body still in that vehicle and being able to had photos taken of, right? If the friend is saying Foolio and the friends that were in the car were taken to the hospital. See, that right there is not adding up to me, you guys, and something just isn't right about that, okay? Because if he was definitely in that car and he was DOA, you know, that would make sense that, you know, his body stayed in the car until they did the, you know, the whole investigation, and, you know, got all the evidence and pictures and things that they actually needed to, you know, do and complete the investigation. But, you know, with the friends saying that Foolio and all the injured ones were taken to the hospital, that's conflicting information right there, right? And just to add more clarity to the situation, if they did go to the hospital, let's just assume that Foolio and the 3 injured ones all did get taken to the hospital. Which hospital did they go to? They never specified which exact hospital Foolio and the friends went to after being shot. See, so that right there is also not adding up, okay? Because if they're saying that, yes, you know, they went to the hospital, I have no evidence of any hospital saying, yes, this is where Foolio and the injured friends were taken to, and definitely they received help and were nursed back into good health at this location. I can't find any news clipping, any news article, right, any video stating that a hospital, you know, took in Foolio or the friends. Now, I know the friends actually went to the hospital, but, you know, they're not saying exactly which hospital that they went to. So I found that very, you know, strange as well, very suspicious that, you know, we had no news coverage on which actual hospital that these guys went to. And maybe that was for, you know, safety reasons. You know, they didn't want, you know, the opposition, the perpetrators of this crime, to know which actual hospital that these guys were in. And that wouldn't make sense that, you know, that they wouldn't tell us, you know, which actual hospital. But in most cases, they do tell us which hospital the victims were taken to and things of that nature. So I just found that to be quite suspicious that, you know, we didn't get any information at all, because it was hospitals that were close. It was a cancer center, and there was 2 other hospitals that were close to the Holiday Inn and that Home 2 Suites where the incident went down at. But like I say, we have no information, and nobody still to this day has came out and said, hey, this is the hospital that they went to. Nobody has, you know, said that they actually seen Foolio getting admitted or rushed into any hospital nearby. So that would imply that he did actually, you know, die on the scene, and there wouldn't be no reason to be taken to the hospital as far as Foolio is concerned, because, you know, the coroner will come and actually pick up the body, you know, and take him on to the morgue or whatever. Now, something else I noticed about the witness who gave a detailed description of how many people got out the car and ran, and he said it was 1 person still remaining in the vehicle. They didn't get out. But this is what he didn't tell us. He didn't tell us how many shooters he saw. Now, that right there was quite telling. Now, he did say that Foolio was bum rushed, but he didn't say how many gunmen that he actually saw in that whole ordeal when everything was taking place. So I found that kind of, you know, very, very suspicious that he wouldn't tell us how many gunmen that he actually seen. You told us how many victims that you seen, but you ain't tell us how many gunmen that you actually witnessed perpetrating this shooting. So, you know, that was very, very eye-opening to me that he would, you know, keep that information from us, but only give us certain information about what he actually saw. Now, another thing that I found, you know, that the witness didn't speak on, and what everybody else was speaking on, is Julio Foolio's girlfriend's car, the gray car that was left at the scene. They said there was 2 vehicles involved in the shooting, right? But with no visible bullet damage to her car, right? Maybe it was, you know, a bullet, you know, that shot through the motor, right? Through the front end of that car that we, you know, just can't really visibly see that good. But, you know, that would explain why her car was impaired and undrivable if she had to, you know, leave the car there on the scene, right? Maybe it was leaking some type of fluid or something like that. But also maybe she didn't want to drive the car after the incident happened to her boyfriend, and he was, you know, gunned down there, and he lost his life inside of his car, right? So that would make sense why she would leave it there also. But for the witness who said he's seen all this go on, why didn't he include that vehicle in the shooting in his testimony when he was talking to the news? I kind of found that very strange that he didn't say or mention anything about the second vehicle, right, being involved, and how did it get damaged? Was this vehicle trying to block off another vehicle? You know, like, how did this happen to her car? He never stated that in, you know, his testimony when he was talking. So, you know, these are all things I noticed when this witness was talking to the news. And, you know, hopefully we can get some more clarity on how her car actually got damaged during this entire ordeal. So looking at all the damage with the, you know, hotel windows being shot out, right, on both sides of the hotel. You know, you have the left side and the right side of the home 2 suites. You have windows being shot out. The witness left out a lot of details, as if, you know, he didn't want to really tell us the full story, or as if he didn't see the whole thing go down. But he made it seem like he's seen everything from the start to the finish. But he left out a whole bunch of details as if he didn't actually, you know, want to disclose that information. Like with Julio Foolio and them trying to get away from the shooters, going around the hotel and coming back around the other side to come up the side and actually, you know, hop that curb to end up right there at that stop sign. He didn't tell us about that whole, you know, chase around the home 2 suites and them shooting at the car and them chasing after the car until it finally stopped. See, he didn't tell us all that. So I found that kind of strange as well, that, you know, well, why he didn't tell the full story if he's seen everything go down. So y'all get in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think about this entire ordeal. And as I keep digging and keep researching and finding more information on this Julio Foolio shooting, right, that led up to his death, I'll definitely keep you in the loop. So until next time, this is OG Jucario TV. Keep it locked for more hip-hop and celebrity news. You're watching the Rundown Podcast. I appreciate everybody for spending with me. I appreciate all my subscribers for sliding with your boy every time. And say, man, hey, man, keep hitting that like button, keep hitting that subscribe button, and look, turn on post notification so we can slide whenever I get the drop. You already know what it is, man. It's deeper than Buddha, her, you hear me? And guess what? I'm gone.